Today we're going to be talking about Martin Luther King. Was Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. This is a celebration time, and it's falling on the 20th, which is also inauguration time. So I'm going to talk about Martin Luther King and a little bit about Donald Trump, and so bear with me as we go through this morning. Dr. Martin, his birthday brings to mind the dreams of freedom and peace. And not only Martin Luther King, but also Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Harriet Tubman, and Rosa Parks. Their determination and courage forced others to look at what love for each other truly is. So think about love for each other. Think about loving each other on the screen. Think about loving everybody in your household. Think about putting love in your heart today and tomorrow for MLK. Okay? Dr. King's birthday is celebrated because he was not just an African-American hero, but a national hero, and fully deserves the holiday of commemoration we devote to him. Think of that. Think of taking a day in our year to commemorate Martin Luther King. That's a wonderful, wonderful way to honor tomorrow. What about your own individual freedom? Do you honor that? Sometimes we forget this. The Creator gave us freedom, and you have the right to decide how you use it, how you work with your freedom. You have a freedom to say what you want. You have a freedom to be who you want. Each one of you has freedom. Sometimes we forget the Creator gave us freedom, and you have the right to decide how you're going to handle it. How are you going to handle your freedom? Sometimes we feel it's removed by policies. Sometimes we feel we're restricted our abilities. Sometimes we feel that we're not free. You are. Honor it. Honor the freedom. Some have lost their freedom to their family ties, financial burden, banks, debts, contracts they signed, religion, their children or parents. It's time to start working back towards your freedom. When MLK spoke the words, "I have a dream," it wasn't because he was a mere dreamer. He didn't live in an ivory tower, separate from the world and its realities. He was a man who wanted things. He wanted change on the ground where he stood. Change for all people, whether they're gender, creed, custom, faith, or nationality. He spoke about love, emphasizing the essential role in achieving social justice and peace. Dr. King believed that love was not just a feeling, but a powerful force that could overcome hatred, injustice, and violence. Here are some quotes from Dr. King. "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." He said, "I have decided to stick with love. We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. At the center of nonviolence stands the principle of love. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word." Dr. King honored labor when he said, "If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or to Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry." He promoted the change of heart and mind when he said, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps perpetrate it." Think about that. Do you accept evil? Are you accepting everything that's being said badly about the new president coming in? What does that do to you when you accept the people as being evil? It doesn't promote you. It doesn't help you. And so think about that. Think about what you're going to be doing with the new president and the new Congress and the things that are happening. Think about it lovingly, not think about it hatedly. That's a new word, hatedly. Think about it lovingly. Think about, okay, let's see what I can do to help move the interest and energy in this new president. Instead of coming in with hate, let's see what you can do for yourself, for your family, for your job, for the people you know. I'm going to repeat that. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. He promoted the change of heart and mind when he said, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps perpetrate it." He was not a man to mince words when he said, "Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance." Sincere ignorance, that's when you just look at your side and don't look at the other side. So let's start looking at the other side of what's going on. He said, "I have a dream that one day the nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." So start looking at the equality of all men. Not some are bad and some are good. Let's look at the equality. And now, after talking about Martin Luther King, anybody have something they'd like to add about how he changed their life? Did any of you feel your life was changed by MLK? I think everybody I see was alive when he was around. You remember him as talking. You remember the feeling, the words he said deep into your soul. Not just your heart, but your soul. He spoke to you when he talked. And he was an amazing man. He had things that went on that were difficult in his life. He had things that he overcame. He wasn't, as far as his personal life, he had some problems. But when you heard his words, they changed the world for you. He was so great at changing everybody's ideas about life. Tomorrow, there will be a prayer meeting for the new President of the United States. And during the Inauguration Day, President Trump will be speaking a vow, the intention of which is to have happened what is best for our country and all of the people who live in it. Words are powerful, and the spoken word can be even more so. A spoken vow is a ceremony meant to hold the person saying it to the intended meaning of these words. Should you feel so inspired on Inauguration Day with his hand upon the Bible, swearing the oath of office, let us pray that he, as our president, be aligned to the principles of our democracy for the good of all in the execution of his duties.
Amen.
I would like to think of that. Think of that put him in our prayers. That the way he handled the duties is the way you would like them to be, or somewhat like you would like to be. But keep him in your prayers. He needs this. He needs this support. If everybody on the screen was to be negative to him, then there's not the only way he can react is negatively. Think about how you're going to accept the president and all of the people that he's choosing as officers and as officials. Because if you don't put love towards somebody, they go worse and worse and worse. So let's see if we can't support him. How many of you feel that they can support him?
Support. Well,
Can you support? Can you support him?
yeah, I will support the United States.
You're going to support the United States. You're going to support where we're living. We're going to support who we are. We're not going to take this day to make him wrong. Let's take this day to bless him and hope that he lives up to what we want. Can you do that? Think about it.
Uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Yep, uphold the Constitution, uphold all the things that should be upheld. But let's put him in our prayers. Okay. Anybody have anything to say about that? Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Lonnie.
Hi. Spirit has been talking to me a lot about people, and personalities. And they remind me that everyone is divine. We're all divine beings. We're all light. We're all love. It takes a lot of love and courage to come here and be the, quote, bad guy out of love, to be that, to show us what we don't want. Okay. So you have to love him because, boy, he took on a big job here. And but we're being backed into a corner, so we will change. And the only way we're going to change is when we see what we don't want.
Right.
So you got to love this guy.
Well, I think we were complacent, and that might be, things are going okay, and then all of a sudden, wow, maybe things aren't just automatic. Maybe we need to put some energy into it. So that's, that could be it. I mean, let's just say that probably is it, and because we know that's how the universe works. It's like,
Right.
okay, here you go.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say?
Thank you, Lonnie.
Arlene Dean?
Yes. Thinking about attempting to put the energy of love towards Donald Trump and to support him, as you say, Dottie, brought me right back to living in New Mexico at a time during an Easter celebration when a heinous murder was committed, virtually steps away from my door, on the same road that I lived on, and a man killed two young pilgrims walking to Chimayo. And he did this and mutilated and attacked the woman, and it was terrible. And I felt it because I was actually in a meditation on my own when that occurred, and all of a sudden I felt ill and sick, and I didn't know what happened, but I passed out. When I came to, I got that something black and terrible had just happened, and someone had died. And that was spirit talking. It wasn't, I knew it wasn't my imagination. And I started trying to figure out what I could do. And the only thing that I came to was that I had to pray for the man who committed the crime. And that perhaps it seemed futile, and perhaps expecting someone who is that dark to change seemed foolish, maybe just flat stupid. But by doing that, Spirit led me to understand that I was attaching the energy of love to this murderer, to this man who was so completely black. And that tiny spark of love, if I could put that forward as my duty to him, that spark of love would go forward with him through his next life, and that he might be enlightened as he went along if more people could pray for him and could try to set love. So that's what I did. And I think that's the same I can do with Donnie, is pray for him and hope that the sparks of love that come towards him are going to enlighten him in all of his principles and all of his actions.
Good, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you, Art. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
Well,
Yes, Lynn.
I can only be honest about it. I think all I can do is think that because this is happening around the time of Dr. King, then how can I try to be more like Dr. King? How did he deal with ignorance and adversarial oppression? I mean, he stood up for what was right, nonviolent. Well, that I could look at. To take a step, I think, is to look at Dr. King. I joined SNCC when I was 15, and it was a very idealistic time. So to me, he represents not only the voter registration, but the courage of standing up for what's right, but non-violently, being the example of the light. I could try that.
Good, wonderful, thank you.
That's as far as I can try right now.
Okay.
I can't do more.
This is Gail.
That's it.
This is Gail, and I'd like to add something to this. We have to recall that we have to step into our higher selves and let go of our expectations and focus on the outcome that we want spirit to have, and add to the foundation of love and hope, and have faith that even though we may not see the results of our efforts, that we know and fully believe that they will come to fruition as we move forward through this chaotic maelstrom of energies.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gail, for sharing. Yeah, that's wonderful. Stephen, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. But most of the things I'm going to say, we all already know. But we are coming up on a time of incredible change, a lot of change, and a lot of change. And that's just plain scary. But we should have, I wonder if I can say this without having to say, always remember that no matter who is in the administration, we do need to pray for that person. We need to. Anytime you feel you've been wronged, you need to pray for that person. Anytime you think that person is wrong, even if it's just someone on the road or someone on the sidewalk, you see them throw out a piece of trash, you need to pray for that person. Because it's this judge mentality that we have that hurts you, hurts me. And the other thing is, everybody around us will only change when they see that change for the better. When they see that changing for the better is the best way to go. And that's not easy. Everybody around us needs to let things go. And yeah, we've got some tough times coming, but we'll get through it. It'll be okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Well, I want to close with something fun. It's called Who's Colored? When I was born, I was black. When I grow up, I am black. When I am sick, I am black. When I go out in the sun, I am black. When I am cold, I am black. When I die, I am black. But you, when you are born, you are pink, okay? When you grow up, you are white. When you are sick, you turn green. When you go out in the sun, you get red. When you are cold, you turn blue. When you die, you turn purple. And you have the nerve to call me colored. So, sort of fun.
I remember that one.
I feel like a rainbow.
I know. You feel like a rainbow. And it was just something that Corky found and put on my MLK paperwork because I thought, that's true. That is so true. So for those of you who are black, you stay black. For us that are white, we are 5, 6 different colors in our lifetime. And so it's something that you can be proud of, that you stay the same color your entire life, even into death. Okay. The other thing, yes, Janet.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that one of the things that's been coming up for me is that we need to move into supporting and protecting people that might be impacted,
Yes.
by what's
Good.
coming. And that is something proactive we can do as well.
Yes.
I totally agree with everything that's been said, but remember, I was just reaching out to a dear friend of mine who is from Central America, and he is scared.
Yes.
And so I've said to him, we will help. We will
Right.
help. And San Jose is a sanctuary city. California is a sanctuary state.
Right.
And I mean, I think putting our efforts into that proactive ways that we can protect and comfort.
Yes. Gloria, you had your hand up. Glory?
Oh, that was a long time ago. I forgot that thought.
Any new thoughts?
Well, my prayer is sometimes it's difficult to pray for when I listen to the news and stuff like that. And I feel like there needs to be change. But if nothing more, I can say and direct it to our White House overall, all the senators, all the um, Congress people and the cabinet and all these people that are in this place where they're making laws or conditions for the rest of us to survive by. I send forth my motto from the Christ. Love your neighbors as yourself, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And right now, that's the best I can come up with a prayer for all of those folks.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Joan?
Joan, you had your hand up?
Well, what I concentrate on is the need for change. There are problems within our country that need to be changed. And I recognize that there's a need for change. And so my prayers are that the change will come with humanity, with following the laws legally, that tenderly maybe, and the change comes not necessarily easily because change is not easy, but that it's at least done with a sense of humanity and love and caring. But the majority of the nation felt that there needed to be change, and we have to agree that there is a sense of that need for change, and bless the change, and bless that it happens with love and caring.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yes, Mel.
I had something. I know a few of you may have heard this from me in the past, but several years ago, and this is on the topic of equality, not inauguration. But several years ago, I had a dream that there was no racism or we had no differences in each other because every morning when we woke up, we were all a different color. Like, today I would be purple, Dottie would be green, Corky would be pink, and the next day it changed. So we were all the same, but we were all different. And actually, I think that's kind of what sparked my fascination with tie-dye. So I can represent a little bit of everybody at the same time.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you.
all.
Thank you for changing. And thank you for sharing your dream. That was wonderful.
I want to say something really quick, just as long as I'm on camera.
Yeah.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial up in San Francisco, if you haven't seen it, it's beautiful, and there's quotes all over the walls inscribed in the marble there. And one of my favorites is that I feel, and I realize this is very gender specific, so I'm gonna change it to be non-gender specific. But the ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in times of comfort and convenience, but where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And I always really liked that because, it says one particular thing to me, which is that never let yourself degrade into apathy, right? Some people feel like they can't win, they can't make a change, they can't do something, or somebody else won, or whatever. Those are all just stories. The fact is that you make a change with every action, with every word that you speak, with every place that you go, with every person you come into contact with. And that's really what it's about. It's about the 1 degree of separation between you and another, and making the best for those around you by being the best that you can be all the time. So that's all.
Wonderful.
Well, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Best you can be at all times. It's fantastic. I think that's something we should all look for.
If we could just all take care of ourselves, I think that would be
Yeah, the best
not
that
have
we
to-
can be
Yeah.
in any given situation.
and not put our nose in other people's business would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
In the meditation you led, I was feeling guided that we need to surround everything as if we're above our country, everything that is good now, the good that was worked for, in white light of protection, to create a shield so that part can be protected. Saw that.
Yes.
A shield.
Good idea.
Yes. Yes.
Well done.
But not a shield of anger, not a shield of war, not a shield of put a shield out that has holes in it so that you can receive new things. You can let go of the old by the holes that you have. You can let go of the old. The problems that we're having is people feel they have to have a side. It has to be for or against. Instead of it just can be opened to listen and understand what the other side is saying if you're taking sides, or just be without taking sides.
You know what I've noticed lately is that everybody thinks that we're interested in their opinion.
Thank you, Facebook.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I just don't, and that just isn't true. So we're not interested in your opinion. We have our own to take care of. Thank you. Yeah, so it just. Hey, Patty, did you have your hand up?
Oh, that's for
No,
Joyce?
I
Yeah.
do.
Oh, Joyce.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's Joyce's hand. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's Joyce's
Well,
hand.
it's on Joyce's corner of the box.
Well,
Thank you.
no, two things. Now, my birth was in a place called Clarksdale, Mississippi, and it was probably one of the most darkest places you could be born as a Black person, because it was a slave state, and it was still a slave state in 1949. And then we came to California, and I came into a whole different kind of oppression. People pretending they weren't, but they were. So what I wrote was this: love and compassion and forgiveness helps to alter fears of any kind. And these fears that can lead to additional fear from those who are afraid of me. And they are afraid of what has happened in their past and their family and traditions, but yet they're afraid of me. So what I do is I send the love and compassion to fear, but I also want to send in forgiveness along with love and compassion. Give them the Trinity. Give the Trinity to me, Trinity to the planet, Trinity to the animals, everything. To the oceans, everything. Give that so that we can have healings taking place at all levels of creation. That's my idea.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is a fantastic way for us to close our service today.
Do you want me to read the...
Okay, but first we're going to hear from people who wrote us.
Okay, so so Len said that she feels Juliet with Lonnie. Maria and Milan is an exceptionally enlightening service. Thank you. Jen, yours is love it. That's in response to something up here, I think. And when Patty Joy said, beautiful service, the meditation, song, sermon, love, and deeply appreciated. And from Sky, I love you, Mama Boone. And then from Stephen, oh, hush, must, yeah, then they were, thank you so much, everyone, for your ideas of how I don't even know what I did. I will practice over the week. That will not happen again. I deeply apologize for the crap I just put you through earlier this morning.
Oh, all we can see is your ear, babe.
Oh, hi, everybody. I like so apologize. You know, Ed gave me instructions, and I'm dyslexic, you know, so everything gets screwed up every now and then. I mean, I even practiced, and this morning I was trying so hard to get a picture of Martin Luther King on this computer that doesn't have any kind of email, and I just totally got involved in that and didn't read my instructions, and it was all my doing. Ed had nothing to do with it. He just was loving it, and he had great instructions. I love you guys, and I just hate the idea that I put you through all that. So.
And you know, beautiful Reverend Corky, we love you.
Corky.
We love you so much. We just are sending love and energy to you. And thank you for holding the space for all of us.
Oh, thank you, Jen.
Amen.
I totally forgive you because I started practicing trying to get onto Zoom like 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, I was on it at 8 something, and here was Gloria. Hi, Gloria.
I was determined to get on here today. So
thank you so much for doing that.
We appreciate it.
Well, Corky, this is Gail. You helped me out this morning because I was frantically doing things in the kitchen, and of course the dog had shown up because she expects tithing. Yeah. And as soon as it got really high-pitched squeaking, even though I'm wearing earbuds, she ran out of the room.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was all good. There were positive things happening.
Yay.
Oh, I want to thank you all for showing up this morning, and any birthdays that we have this week. Any birthdays?
My grandson's birthday is today.
Well,
yay! Happy birthday!
Yeah.
And Donnie Christensen is this week?
Tomorrow,
Donnie
Happy
Christensen.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Donna. Happy birthday to you.
And we'll call her up later and give her the special.
Special birthday song.
Mine's in a couple of weeks.
Happy birthday. Well, zoom in. We'll sing to you.
I'll zoom in. No
I want to thank you all so very much for joining us this morning. Take Martin Luther King's sayings with you. Say to yourself, I can love through this. Not hate through it, but I can love through this. And bring it, that base love that you all have, and bring it forward. And let it shine. If everybody you know lets their love shine, you'll find it makes a difference in the whole world.
Right. Because when you open the door to darkness, the darkness does not come out to greet you. Your light goes in before you to reveal what is necessary to clean up.
Yes, thank you so much, Gloria. It's nice hearing all the way from Texas.
Woohoo!
Yes, thank you all so very much. We'll see you next week if we don't talk to you before
happy trails,
then.
you guys. Happy trails.
And we have, right here, we have the basket. The basket's empty this morning. Please, if you feel like it, send us a couple of bucks through PayPal at safedoti@aol.com. We'd appreciate it. Thank you so very much, and have a great week. And when you watch tomorrow, remember, you don't have to watch what you don't want to. You only watch what you want. Thank you so very much. It's nice having you here today.
Thank you. Love you all.
Bye. Love you all.
Love you all.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful seeing all of you all the time.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.